guys, Johnny Morse, ERG. I would like to take you on a little bit of a tour of our office now. Follow me. One of the first things that strikes you when you walk in is a Mongoose, California, 1980s BMX, old school. I was not fortunate enough to own one of these when I was a young child. My parents didn't believe in spending that sort of money on me, which I appreciate for that. It represents our old school values. It represents our traditional methods of recruitment. This old school value of a BMX, combined with the tech stack that we currently have, is the perfect model for the perfect consultant in 2022. Old school values, new school methods. Superb. You'll see throughout the office, there's a bit of a feature to Lions, and we'll talk about that as we go along. The next landmark is a plethora of old school telephones. Some of you may remember this one. I think I had it personally. We've got an old army phone, goes right the way down to some of the 1980s again, the traditional mobile phone of the stockbroker. So why have we got telephones in this area? There's a quote on the wall, if I read this out. All of my greatest achievements in business started with that first phone call. The phone is still my best friend. It was then and it still is now. Technology evolves and phones certainly have. But talking to people and the importance of this, especially in recruitment, will never, ever change. And that's a quote from myself, the importance of the telephone.
Good afternoon, ERG. Sarah speaking. How can I help?
You'll see these personalised mats throughout the office. This one is suggesting that the deal zone is this way, and we'll enter the boiler room, as we call it, in a minute. Winston Churchill, the great man himself, why have we got a big picture of him and a quote? Two reasons. The first one, never give in. Never, 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 never. In nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in. Something that is so apt in recruitment. We love that quote, hence why it went up. The second and the more important reason, I guess, is that Winston Churchill's coffin was in fact made opposite of the Coffin Works. So there's a bit of history attached there. Come on through. What does good look like for ERG? Now this has evolved over time. A number of things on here, from how you work, what's measured in a good way in terms of permanent fees, contract fees, numbers out the door. But you'll see the majority of it is all about a smiling face. We want people to have fun here. If they're happy and they're smiling and they're doing deals, that's what good looks like for ERG. Right, we talked briefly about lions. At ERG, we feel we have the heart of a lion. It's an important part for us. The lion represents strength, courage, character, and the lion pride and people working together is what symbolises a lot of the values and the culture here at ERG. So the lion's a big, big, big part of what we do here. Okay, timeline. You will see the business was set up by myself in 2003. This was the original logo and how we designed the business. It evolved to 2009, a rebrand, a redesign, a bit more slick logo. 2015, when we bought our offices here, this is when we changed into a more of a dynamic consultancy, and moving forward to our latest rebrand that we discussed earlier, 2021, and the new ERG group. As we mentioned earlier, welcome to the boiler room. Again, you'll see a constant flow of the lion featuring throughout the office. And this is how some of the guys are operating. Team America, team tech startups, public sector, statement of works delivery, and it flows throughout the office. Now, we talked earlier, when we talked about the BMX and we talked about old school values and traditions of recruitment, we still use extensive qualification paperwork. How we qualify a candidate, how we qualify a client, what we're doing in terms of market penetration. We're still very much paper and pens in that respect. And then we bolt on top that delicious tech stack to take it to the next level. Bit of fun in the office, the ERG Incentivator. We won't talk about Johnny's Jolly Joystick too much, but it is meant to be fun. We have a lot of incentives in here, a lot of prizes. You can win all sorts from watches to maybe a cup of tea for the boss. So a bit of fun. We did this on a Friday afternoon. And finally, as we mentioned earlier, the actual deal zone. This is where the magic happens. This is where we try and celebrate our wins. Everything as small as interview, right there through to a new deal. Come on! Get in there! That's what happens when we get something in. Goes on the board, everyone celebrates. Bit of a shared love.